There is some noise in it, noise on the line actually.
It's not because of me. I will do. Let me keep everyone on mute. I think it's fine now. I kept everyone on mute. So if you have any questions, ping me in the chat window or else unmute yourself and just you can, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, fine. Okay. So today we'll start with OBIEE 11G architecture. So when I say architecture, we have many components present. So each and every component has some role in OBIEE. So when a OBIEE developer wants to develop something either in UI or maybe in RPD, so each and every component plays a vital role in managing your development. Okay, so all those stuff, even all the system components and all those are being covered as part of your OBIEE 11G architecture. We will see how it is being distributed. Okay, so your OBIEE 11G architecture is completely different from the previous OBIEE implementations like 10G or Civil Analytics or anything else. So your OBIEE 11G architecture drastically changed from previous versions to current versions. So here the concept of WebLogic server has come in. So before we used to have something called Oracle container for Java, either OC4J or IaaS, Internet Information Service, which is a component on your machines, Windows machines. So we used to use either of these services to start and stop our application. So if you start OC4J, only then you can log into your 10G application. Or if you have it configured with IaaS, you have to start IaaS. Otherwise, you cannot really work with any of these 11G, 10G OBIEE application. Similar way, your OBIEE 11G has come up with WebLogic server. So there is a vital component called a WebLogic server, which will include your admin server as well as your process manager, everything, and it acts as a centralized place to control all your integrated components, not only OBIEE. So if someone is working with BI Publisher, so BI Publisher also OBIEE supports. So all those components like BA Office or BA Publisher or something else, you can see here. BA Office, Action Service, Web Services, BA plugins, security. So all this part can be controlled using your servers. Okay. Now, when I say WebLogic server or WebLogic domain, you have your admin server and enterprise manager in this. So how to access your admin server, or you can say it as a console. So how to access this? So once your services are started on OBIEE 11G, there is some URL called as HTTP hostname colon 7001 slash console. For EM, we have something like this: HTTP hostname colon 7001 slash EM. Okay, so these two URLs can be accessed once you start your admin server. Sorry, not admin server, your WebLogic server. Okay, so how can you start it? There are many ways of starting your servers. And before starting off your servers, let me draw a simple diagram, or let me show a simple diagram how your components are distributed on your OBIEE 11G system or OBIEE 11G Enterprise Edition, how the components are really configured or how they are distributed, and we will see the importance of each component. And we have a box for this. See, you can see my OBIEE window here, and I have OBIEE installed in this machine. So once you install OBIEE, what it does, we have something called as services on Windows machine, right? So open services.msc. So it will open services window. By default, it will have two services that can help OBIEE 11G to run smoothly. So one is Oracle WebLogic Node Manager. One more is Oracle Process Manager. As of now, Oracle Process Manager is down. So I will tell you what is the importance of this, how to start this and how to stop this. And remember that, see here, there are two windows which are open. You can see F middleware user projects, domains, BI foundation domain, bin, and there will be something called start weblogic.cmd. So that file is run. So let me show you that. Okay. So that file is run to start your WebLogic. And this is your managed server. So what is a managed server? Managed server acts as like a gatekeeper for communication between your real world and your OPMN components. Okay. We will see how all these are distributed. You guys don't worry now. Just observe that as soon as you install OBIEE, you have node manager, process manager as two services. And one more thing is, you have in all programs, you will have Oracle Business Intelligence. So if you click this, you can see different components here. BI administration tool to open and work with your RPD. Catalog manager to open and work your web catalog in offline or online mode. Deinstall for uninstalling the services. Job manager to check if there is any job like scheduled jobs that are running. Start and stop BI services. So start BI services, what it will do? It will start your managed server. Sorry, it will start your WebLogic server. Then it will start your managed server and all the components if OPN is up and running. Yeah, Gaurav, I have unmuted.
Yeah, what does catalog manager does?
You know what catalog is? Okay,
No.
now let me open you catalog manager. Catalog manager will help you in editing the components of your web catalog. So when I say web catalog, see you have an option called open web catalog. I can't open this in online mode because my OPMN services are down. That means my Oracle BI presentation server or BI server will be down. So I can't open this. So I'll try to open it on an offline mode. What is the path where your catalog is stored? Your middleware home. So where your middleware home is there? On computer, E drive, you have something called, I have installed something in middleware folder. So middleware, instances 1, you have something called as BI foundation, presentation services component, catalog, and you have something called sample applet. Click OK, click OK. So your web catalog is opened here. So just click on your root folder, and your shared folder is the place where all your shared content like reports or dashboards or everything is present. And user folder contains each and every user. See Chanakya, I have created my name, I have created WebLogic user, I created few other users. So all those users are present in offline mode and their respective contents. Like under Chanakya, if I have some underscore portal will have dashboards, underscore delivers will have your agents, underscore filters will have your filtered, any if you have saved any filters, all this. And shared will have all shared.
So this is basically working in offline mode.
Offline mode. You can work in online mode also. There are two options.
Online, offline?
Okay. The difference between offline and online mode is, offline mode you are not saving the changes directly into server memory, or the changes are not taking effect immediately. You have to restart your components in offline mode. Okay. When I say online, I am checking in the changes directly and the changes will take effect immediately. You need not to restart any of the services. Okay, so when I say offline, obviously you are stopping all the services, you are opening for yourself in the offline mode, you are making some changes, and if you feel some changes are not proper or not correct, you can delete them. But in online mode, servers will be up and running, parallelly you will be making the changes also. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you will see it, what offline mode, online mode and all, we will see it. Okay. So this is what our catalog manager does. Now see, we are discussing about architecture. Okay. Now let me show you. So now I told you my admin server has started. So when I say my admin server has started, what I can do, I told you I can access two URLs. Okay. Before this, let me just complete this diagram first and then explain about all the URLs and all those stuff. So we have a complete OBIEE 11G here. So correspondingly, before you run RCU, so which contains supportive schemas, and here okay, so here let us call this as supporting schemas. For example, your BI platform schema. So this is one layer, and you have here all the supported configuration and log files. For example, nqs config.ini, instance config.ini and nqserver.log file, nqquery.log, bi_server1.log. You have many files, like for each and every configuration you have different files. So you can say here this layer has configuration and log files, and this layer I can say it has something called as OPMN components. So this you can call it as Oracle Process Manager. So these are called OPMN components. So what does your OPMN components include here? All these 5 system components which are maintained in your C and C++ language. So one is Oracle. I will show you all these components. Don't worry, where all these present. Presentation services. Next, Oracle BI service. Next, Oracle cluster controller, and you have Oracle scheduler, and you have Oracle Java host. These are your OPMN components, or we call them system components, which are useful in running your day-to-day activities. And here this side, so this you can call the complete thing as a OBIEE domain. So we have divided it into BI system components as well as Java components or WebLogic domain. So where this is called as your admin server. Okay, so we call it as admin server. So when I start my admin server, what happens? So let us call the whole thing as Oracle domain. Okay, we call this one alone as WebLogic domain. So your WebLogic server components and everything. So related to your WebLogic things. And you have your admin server. When you say your admin server, you have your admin console, enterprise manager. So these are very important for us, and these stuffs are like optional. You might use them, or even if you are not using them, it's additional things which are provided by your OBIEE enterprise, BI publisher, security you will use obviously. Okay, like this. So this is how your OBIEE 11G architecture is being distributed across your system. So when you install it on the server, so this is how it is being distributed. And when I say clustered environment, I'll still have a single WebLogic server, but your OPMN components will be distributed. Suppose clustered environment, I'll have my OBIEE installed on 2 machines, or 3 machines, or 4 machines, something like that, more than 1 machine, right? So when I say clustered environment, there will be single WebLogic server, but your OPMN components will be more. Okay, for each and every server, there will be set of OPMN components. Now, let me just run you through the PPT and show all the things what we wrote. So this is how your architecture looks. So what are system and Java components? So your system components are nothing but your this one, OPMN components. These components are still retained from your previous versions and are still maintained in C and C++ codes itself. And these are useful in managing your all the system resources for daily activities. And without your manager server, like your you have something called as manager server. Without manager server, no user can even log into this, go and access these OPMN components. Like even application won't be up also. Okay, and these new components like admin server, enterprise manager, all publisher logins, security, everything is maintained now in Java code. Okay. Now, what is OPMN server? So your OPMN is nothing but Oracle Process Manager and notification servers. You may have come across OC4J in previous versions, which is Oracle Container for Java, which is like a web-based service. If you start OC4J, it starts up few jar files, which will help you in starting up all your system components before. And since been adopted across the technology stack to start and stop or monitor the process across your servers, and it is used in OBIEE 11G to do the same for system components. Okay, the same thing has been replaced by your OPMN now. So whatever OC4J was doing before, your OPMN is doing now. Okay, to start and stop your BI services. And you can either access OPMN through command line. So there are 2 ways of accessing. Our recommended approach to use graphical interface within the Fusion middleware control. So there are 2 ways of accessing. One is like login to EM, and there is some path, business intelligence, core application, capacity management, availability. So this is the place where all your components will be present. We can start and stop all the services from there, or else we can even go to command line. So how to go to command line? Go to your installed location. In my case, it is E drive. So just click E colon. It will take you to E slash something like this. So here just type cd middleware slash instances slash instances 1 slash bin slash. If you want to know the status, so just click, if you click enter, it will take you to this path cd, right? Next just type something called as opmnctl space status. So this will give you all the components which are running. Now let me show you the same thing here. So what I am telling you, go to cmd, go to E drive, type cd middleware slash instances slash instances 1 slash bin, type opmnctl status. Now it will give me an error message because you can see that my Oracle process manager service is down. Okay, now just let me run this. Okay, alive. Why is it alive? Let me log into EM once. So HTTP. We had issue starting this service. Okay, maybe that's the reason. If this is down, right, your OPMN does not work actually. But I don't know why this is showing, because this had some issue for us. HTTP localhost colon 7001/em. So this is my enterprise manager login. So what I am doing, WebLogic password, and I told you admin server console, right? So for the what is that, HTTP colon hostname. Hostname is localhost colon 7001/console. This is for my admin server. So log into this WebLogic tab, welcome one. So this is my, all the process manager components are ready. So you need not to worry about the service, because the service generally in the at enterprise level or server level, if the service is down, it will not start up. Because of our local setup, we have some issue. This is still working in background process. So this is still fine for us. Okay, so what I did, what I told you, go to business intelligence, core application. So where to see all your OPMN components. So this is how you log into your admin console and enterprise manager. So where does these two fit in your architecture? In your architecture, these are coming in admin server, like admin console and enterprise manager. So these two components you are looking at now in WebLogic domain. So any domain related stuff, if you want to manage or control, all those things will be handled in your two URLs. So you see this. So in admin server or console, you see something called as environment. So under this you have something called as servers. So just click on servers. You have your admin server, okay, which can be started and stopped, and you have this BI server one. So this is called managed server. Okay, if manager server is down, you cannot log into application. So when I say application, what will be the URL? HTTP colon localhost or host name. In our case, it may be in your host name colon 9704, which is your port number in this case, /analytics. So this is the UI or your OBIEE application login. Here you can log in with WebLogic, your password, welcome one. This will take you to your OBIEE screen. So you will be, as a developer, you will be only worried with this URL. You won't be worried whether these two things are working or not, because Even if your admin server is down, nothing will happen. What will happen if your admin server is down? The only thing is you cannot log into your console and enterprise managers and check all the components. But if your manager server is down, you cannot even communicate with your OPMN components. So your manager server is the server which will try to communicate from your application end towards your OPMN components. And if any of the OPMN component is down, each and everything. So if scheduler is down, only you will not be able to work with agents. There is something called new agent. So this piece of your OBIEE does not work. So what is the importance of agents? Agents will deliver some content. So when I say delivery content, browse and I can give some content, either dashboard or a report or a dashboard page or anything. See here. Content can be dashboard page or briefing book or even entire dashboard also. Okay, many things. And recipients will be users. So if I have configured, otherwise I can even give my mail address also directly. Okay, it will send out an email to me as a mail. So this piece will not work if your Oracle BI scheduler is down. So this you can bring this down alone. So only this components can be bring it down. So how to do that? Stop selected. So if you stop this selected component, your scheduler will come down. Your presentation server, BI server. Okay, let me bring down scheduler. So now we were just seeing how all this each and every component works. So we are telling something called as configuration and log files, right? So all these log files are there to support your, okay, stop completed successfully. Okay, now this is down. All remaining services are up. Now let me create an agent, general schedule. So schedule just run once. Condition delivery content, just give subject as testing for scheduler. Browse any of the analysis. So browse as test type. Okay, recipients as WebLogic user. Destinations, I don't have any delivery profile. Home page and dashboard. Just save this.
Tab, actually, I'm not following it. Actually, I'm missing a lot of points over here. What are you doing?
Okay. See, man, I'll tell you about agents. As of now, my target is to show whether
I
this
have
will
no
work
idea,
or
but
not.
tell us what is agent actually. Before doing, at least tell us now what do you mean by agents?
Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean, Gaurav?
Yeah, I am asking like, what do you mean by agents?
Yeah, see, I'm explaining you, right? So, what did I tell? Agents are used to deliver either dashboards or analysis to your mailbox. And we have a separate session for agents. As of now, I am just worried about if a particular component is down. I told you agents will not work in your application, right? So, see, if there is a way to ask Gaurav, please see, I know you can be polite enough. Okay. Okay. So let me save this agent as some test agent.
When you say application, then what does exactly mean? The main OBA screen which you showed, the
Yes,
main
yes,
from where we
yeah.
make
The main OBIEE screen. When I say application, it's OBIEE screen. Okay. So just think it as test agent. I am just saving it as a test agent. So yeah, you can see this error. The following error occurred. Oracle BA scheduler error. The active Oracle BA scheduler instance in the cluster could not be determined because I brought down my scheduler instance, right? So my scheduler service, once I bring it down, you will not be able to work with your agents or save them like this. Okay. So this component will help you in working with agents. So your component. So now start this selected piece. So this component has been started successfully. So now let us just see if you can save this agent. So you are able to save this agent now, right? And even if you can even run this. So if you run this, what it tells me, I gave something as delivery content as test underscore type, right? So this test type is an analysis. So what I am doing, go to your home page and dashboard. I am delivering this to your home page and dashboard, and you have your alert section filled here, and even in the content also you got this one, home page. Go to your my dashboard. Here also in the alerts you can see this testing for scheduler has come up. So this agent, just see this content. So you can see for type you have all the different types of product types and their revenue, like this. So the main intention of telling this is just to check whether Oracle BI scheduler works properly or not. If this is down, what will happen? If this is up, what will happen? At this point of time, just keep that in mind. Okay, we need not to worry what I am delivering or where I am delivering. That is not the question here. So the only thing would be if you are running an agent, whether you are able to run an agent or not. Again, in the agents class, we have what to do, what to discuss, what is general section, and we will discuss about each and every section there again. Okay, so we need not to worry. Now, if I bring down my presentation services, can you tell me what will happen? Okay, now we are playing around with each of the components. Okay, now I will bring down my managed server. Okay, now let me close the application. So it goes to force suspending state. So this is an admin activity. If you want to bring down your admin server, you have to go to control, select your BI server 1, click on shutdown. You can bring down your BI server alone, and your manager server OPM and process are still running, and your BI server is coming down. So in this case, let us see what will happen. This may take some time. Generally this takes 1 or 2 minutes time, because this will stop all some process in the background and all. So meanwhile, I will show you the configuration files for each and every application, like each and every service. Okay, where does, as soon as you install OBIEE, it should be some folder, right? So in my case, it is middleware folder, and all my OBIEE related folders are present here. This is by default when you install OBIEE in a folder. So the only thing which will be in your control is giving this name of this folder. You can give it as middleware or Oracle BI or anything. But inside all the folders are by default. Your OBIEE installation will itself will put all this into your folder. So instances one. So this is called instance home. When I say instance, you have different types of instances. Presentation server, scheduler server. So all these 5 instances, right? So for each instance, so you have a different folder. And in BI Foundation folder, if you go to BI server component, so this is something related with core application underscore Oracle BI server. So this is your core application underscore Oracle BI server. So this folder. So any configuration or log related to this log files can be seen here. So cache, you have something called as repository. So if you want to make any changes to your repository, this is the place where your repository is stored. From this place only you will deploy your RPD, or you will open your RPD in offline or online mode or anything else using your BI administration tool. Okay, we will see that. You need not to worry. Just keep in mind these are the supporting files that are required. Okay, now go to instances 1. There is something called config. So configuration files are stored here. So your Oracle BI server component configuration related files, there is some, I told you something called nqsconfig.ini file. So this is the file where you can make some changes manually, but most of the changes have been move to your enterprise manager itself now. You need not to open this file and make changes manually. If you make some changes in enterprise manager related to your server configuration, automatically this file will be changed. And you can see that this configuration setting is managed by Oracle Enterprise Manager Fusion Middleware Control. So this is your enterprise manager. So if a particular setting, so star equal to coxa_BA0057.rpd. This is the repository that I am opening it in my online mode. When I say online mode, that is the repository where my application is picking. Okay, that is the repository where my application is using to communicate with database. Right? So what will happen now? Okay, now let me check my BI server is down, right? Let me log into the application. So unable to connect. All your OPMN components are still up and running. Your manager server is down. Your application is not opening. You will get this, or you will get one more message as service unavailable, so on. So you will not be able to log into your application without your manager server. Your manager server only will route your request from end user to your main OBIEE application. Okay. So now bring up the component. So how to bring it? Bring it up. Select this. Click on start. Node manager associated with the mission data BA is not reachable. Okay.
When this admin server is down, we would be able to access the application, right? So
Yes, yes.
all other components.
You will be able to log into the application, but you cannot log into console and enterprise manager. You cannot log into these two URLs, console and enterprise manager. You can log into application. OBIEE application still works. Okay.
Right.
Just a second. Okay, so this is automatically started in the background. See, you should be very careful while working with your servers, because we don't know, suddenly sometimes if it goes down. Recently also it happened in QA for me. So if it is going down, you cannot, sometimes it simply, we don't know what configuration files are changed. It takes days, like 1 or 2 days for you to figure what exactly the issue is. So that's why be careful while playing around with your servers. So most of the times no one will be given access, but if you are having access, just be careful while starting or stopping off your manager server or admin server and all this. So once if this is going down, it's really little difficult job to bring that up. For a server BA server, okay, let me bring down all the services and just restart all the services once again. So what I am doing, I am just trying to bring down all of my components. So how to do that? Go here, something called stop BI services. So enter the WebLogic admin username, WebLogic, give as welcome one. So this will stop all my OBIEE related components. Okay. So this will not even bring up admin console or application or OPMN or anything. This will stop everything. Stop all the BI services. Okay. Just. See, it stopped all OPMN. Then it stops in order. So all the OPMN are stopped. Then your WebLogic node manager is stopped. Then your admin server is stopped. Then the window is closed. Now just click on Oracle Business Intelligence, start BI services. So by default, this will start your admin server first, then it starts your manager server, then it starts all your OPMN related stuff. Okay, so it's in order. So while stop OPMN first, then stop BI server, then stop admin server. So you understood the sequence, how it is. Sequence is also very, very important. So they will ask you in questions, what is the sequence of stopping? So what is happening first? While starting, admin server is starting first. Then your managed server is starting first. Then your OPMN components. Okay, while stopping, first your OPMN components will stop. Then your managed server will stop. Then your admin server will stop. Okay, like this. Okay, so in these ways, the start and startup of your servers or your services will happen. Okay, and again in OPMN components, you can it's like a sequence. Your presentation services, Java host, and all those, you can bring them individually or bring them up individually, or else if you even restart all and stop all, we really don't care. It automatically takes care of the sequence. Okay, like this. So if you want to bring each and every component manually, first start your admin server. So how can you only start admin server and not managed server and OPMN components is, there is a way. What? You can go to middleware, user projects, domains, BI foundation domain. There is something called bin. Here, there is something called start weblogic.cmd. So this is Windows command file. So just double click this, only your admin server will be started, nothing else will be started. Okay, you can log into admin, you can log into console, you can log into enterprise manager, but nothing else. Your OPMN components will not be up, your manager server will not be up, anything will not work. Then after logging into that, you can log into your console or EM and bring each and every server individually, bring them up individually. You can do that. Okay. So this is how you manage various components and try to uh, control your application. Okay. So when you bring down your presentation services, right, you will still be able to communicate with your manager server, but your login window itself doesn't show up. So if my presentation service is down, this is like your login window will not get displayed. If my Oracle BI service is down, you will not be, your login window will come up, but you will not be able to log into the application, because your Oracle BI server component is the crucial component in making in allowing you to log in, as well as in getting the queries from your database and all those stuff. So this will not allow you to log in. If your Java host is down, you will be able to log into the application. Your presentation services window will show up, but your graphs, you have graphs, right? Pie chart, bar chart, all those, trellis views and all. So different types of graphs will not get displayed. Only you can see table view and pivot table view. Any views related to tables you can see. Anything related to graph. When I say graph, you know, right? Pivot charts or graphs or bar graphs, all those. And you saw what scheduler does. If scheduler is down, your agents will not work. Okay, like this. So this is how you can correlate your various components with your.
Can you tell me the role of this Java host?
Yeah, I'll show you. Don't worry. Let my application come up. Okay. Takes some time actually. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll have some water and I'll be back. Let the component start. It takes some time. Just 2 to 3 minutes it takes. So just let it start. Okay. We'll just see how Java host works. Yeah. So let me log into EM. So meanwhile, let me show you this WebLogic welcome one. Go to your dashboards. Go to any one of the dashboard. Okay, my dashboard. Customer waste region, sales fulfillment. Okay, first I don't have Flash player itself. Okay, now you are able to see graph, right? Okay, now let me bring down Java host.
When you say dashboard, it is a report only.
Then why we are calling it a dashboard? If it is a report, how many reports I have here?
2,
Okay, how many I have here?
3.
See, this customer waste region is
Group.
not called a
I see.
dashboard. Customer waste region is not called a dashboard. It is called dashboard page. My dashboard, you see one thing, right? My dashboard. This is called a dashboard. Dashboard is a collection of dashboard pages. Dashboard page is a collection of reports. Okay?
Multiple reports. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that. And now let us bring down Java host. So just keep in mind in sales fulfillment we are seeing this report, right? Just sign out of this. Let me sign in back. Now you will be able to sign in. Sign in and all will not be any issue. Welcome one. Go to same dashboard again, my dashboard. Sales fulfillment. You see this graphing engine is not responding. An error occurred during connect to this mission. No connection could be made because the target mission actively refused it. You are still able to see your table view, but your graphs will not work. None of the graph works. Your Java host is down. Okay?
Yes.
Like that. Okay, so just bring this Java host. Okay, now we started. This should work fine. So your graph is coming now because the component is up. Okay, like this. So presentation services, server, scheduler, cluster, and Java host. 5 should be there. Your cluster controller is the main controller. So if you have more than one server, then it will get communicated with this cluster controller itself. This is the very crucial component. Even this. So even if this is not there, your clustering nothing will work out. So communication between multiple nodes will not happen. Okay. Now if your presentation server is down, you can't see this login screen. BI server is down. It is like heart of your application. Nothing works. You will not, even if you see your login screen, you will still not be able to log in or see the reports like this because your Oracle BI server is the primary server to contact your database and get the results. And your scheduler is down, agents won't work, cluster control is down, your clustering will not work, Java host is down, your graphs will not work. Fine.
So when do we go for multiple controllers, like multiple servers?
In your production environment, can we maintain only one server and trust? For some reason, if it is going down or if there is maintenance activity, can I tell my users my application is down? It is just an additional server. So maintain one more server. During installation, there is something called BI scale out. You will get an option called scale out. So if you click that option, there it will ask for the primary controller, secondary controller, host names. By default, it will take port numbers, but host names should be different. So there will be a single WebLogic server. When I say WebLogic server, there will be only one admin server and one console on the primary server. One still acts as a primary, and one more acts as a secondary. Okay. So even if all the OPMN components on server 1 are down, all the OPMN this one, your application will still be accessible from your server 2, like that. Okay. That I cannot show up here because we have only one server. I cannot install that, but in my production, I only installed in both QA and production. There were two servers, okay, two servers for each environment. So if one thing goes down, the other will be up and running. So we have did many testings.
Automatically goes to server 2, the backup one.
Yeah, automatically. And there is one component called we generally your OBIEE primary controller itself. When you go here, or you 1 second. When you go here, I'll show you how the load is distributed. So failover will have secondary also here. If there is any clustering and all, capacity management. Okay, here you see this Oracle WebLogic server, you have only one manager server. Now if you have two, right, your BI server 2 also will come here in this. In your performance summary, here 2 will come. And in Oracle BI presentation services, 2 entries will come. Oracle BI server, 2 entries will come. 2 entries will be there for each and everything. Like that. Okay. And it will distribute your Oracle, your primary controller, which is like your primary server itself will distribute the load. If you are accessing through one URL, even if you are accessing through the primary URL, there will be 2 URLs for application also, like hostname 1 URL like this, http localhost colon 9500/analytics, and one more is http host 2 colon 9503/analytics. Okay, these 2 URLs you can access. So even if you access this URL, there is no guarantee that it will go and hit localhost only. It may get data from host 2. It will go and fetch data. It will route the request to host 2 if host 2 is free. So it will even balance the load also, like that. And we did in our real time, what we did, we instead of using these 2 URLs, we just made a common URL, just like host 3 colon, not even port number is required, just /u analytics. So this, because with using network load balancing network load balancing software, we achieved this. So what happens, by default this URL will take care of routing a request to either 1 or 2 based on the availability, like this. So there are a lot of concepts for clustering and all. This is purely for admin part. We are not covering any stuff here. So you can understand that cluster controller will manage all this stuff, and you can see if you are bringing down a particular component and all, this will not work out. If cluster controller or anything is brought down, this will not work out. Okay, so you guys mostly will not be working on admin part. So most of the times it's only one guy who will be given access for all the admin stuff. Okay, so you concentrate mainly on development only. So you need not to concentrate on any of the admin stuff and all, because if we start admin part, there are many things, like you have to configure single sign-on mechanism. So this also we configured. You have to configure as act as functionality. So if I tell all this, each and every topic for implementation of SSO itself, for us it took 3 weeks. Okay, imagine how hard it will be. So each and every component, so inside of this WebLogic domain you do something, so all this there are very minor tweaks, so all those we really don't care actually. Okay, we are mainly worried how data warehouse is there, how you are bringing in the tables, and how you are modeling a report on top of it. That is what our subject is. Okay, so in architecture class, so this is more than enough for us. So we have different types of components and different servers like manager and admin server, and you can just have a brief idea what each server does. Okay, is that fine? Or any other questions?
Can you go to the page where you drew the diagram?
This one, yeah. This page only, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking at, yeah.
So you saw all the components, these OPMN components, you saw admin server. If you want to see security, okay, let me show you in console. So what does your security piece handle here? So in 10G we used to maintain everything in RPD itself. 11G or RPD doesn't support anything like that. Everything you have to do it in console only. By default authenticator is the thing which will handle your security piece. So welcome one. So this will act as a directory like normal OBIEE provided directory itself, and that will provide your security mechanism. You can create user, login users, and everything you can do there on. Let me log into this. Okay, there is something called security realms, my realm. Here all your users and groups are configured. If you want to create a new user, just create new, just give username as test123, and by default you have to see, you can see provider is default authenticator. There is only one provider. I am giving the same password as test123. Click OK. Password must be at least 8 characters. Okay, you test1234. Okay, user created successfully. Click on the test123 user, click on the groups, assign him with a particular group BI consumers. So I am giving him BI consumer role group. Just save this and now log out of your application, log into this application with test123. So this part again I will cover it. This is part of your security. This again. So now you are able to see logged in as test123, and when I click on my account, you should be able to see his roles and groups. So roles, he is a BI consumer role. So anything which is saved in shared folders like sample applet, quick start, customer sales, he should be able to see that content. Okay, so he should be able to see your embedded content as well as your reports and all this stuff. Okay, this is part of security. Everything will be covered. You guys don't worry. Okay, so everything will be taken care. And see, I am not like I want to, because you guys are paying, I want to tell only something and leave it. Anything I am approachable, I will tell you all the topics that are required, and I will make sure that you guys can comfortably work in OBIEE. Okay, so that is my assurance. And you can even ask any other people if we are telling you extra, or if I am just telling you few topics, because the syllabus that you have shared is very minimal. Then so there is no need to go in depth and teach. So for some of the batches we didn't even cover some topics also. But you guys are already experienced, and I didn't tell you SQL, right? So for that reason I am concentrating more on OBIEE part. So you guys really need not to worry also. And you guys don't be an assumption that few topics will be skipped or anything. Even if that is difficult, and even if it is not required also in real time. See, real time hardly you will use 50 or 60%. Remaining 50% you will never use in your career. Most of the topics you will never use. Aggregate persistence you will never use. Rename wizard you will never use. You will never use some more KPIs, scorecards. Very minimal. Very minimal. But even those I will tell you. Just keep for your knowledge, and if someone is asking, you can tell them, yes, I know, I am aware of it. Okay, you guys don't worry that something will be skipped or something will be missed out. while teaching. Okay, so just I'm giving you that assurance. Okay, is that fine?
Yeah, Pratap.
Yeah. So this is how you manage your security here and all this stuff. So now, are you comfortable how admin server, how your manager server, and how your OPMN components work? And we will
Yes.
slowly see how to deploy RPD, how to deploy WebCat, and when I start with RPD development, I'll show you all those stuff. Everything is streamlined. You guys really need not to think about future and just worry. Everything is streamlined. Okay, every topic will be taken care. Okay, whatever I
Pratap,
am. Yeah, go ahead,
I
Gaurav.
mean, if we want to, where to get the study material for this? I mean, if you want to read about this architecture,
Google,
so it's just
Google.
Google it.
See, I gave you PPT. If you want any extra, see, the idea is how much ever extra you want to learn, just go and Google it. That is the basic idea. And I don't think so. At this point of time, I think this knowledge is enough, man. Because again, if you start working right, you will understand yourself. Main God is like practice. You learn 100 from 100 books, nothing will be there in your brain. I am telling you. Until you start a particular component, you stop something, you do something, you will never learn. This is purely for idea. Okay, so what I am teaching or what books give you is just an idea. Until you do it, you will not be a master. That is for sure. If you want more information, how much more you can take without doing? You cannot take. I am guaranteeing you that. Okay, so
Yeah, we
just
have to play with the
yes,
OBIE.
you have to play, you have to do your own thing, you have to do all R&D. So even why we are this confident, or when why we are, see, even I am only comfortable with our 60 or 70% of OBIEE, not 100%. When I say 100%, I should be writing Java code and I should be developing my own command files and jar files. I am not doing that. I am only using what OBIEE is giving. That's it, right? So anyone, even in Informatica, you do you use Java transformation? I don't think so. How many people use Java transformation? Because when I ask even experienced guy here, they will tell, okay, Java transformation. Why do we need SQL transformation? Very rare, right? So most of the times you will be with source qualifier, lookup, edit, update strategy, or else router and aggregator. Normalizer also very less, right? So you have all the stuffs configured, but you have everything readily available, but the usage is very minimal. Even in real time or many of the clients, very few guys will go for some additional implementations. Other than that, most of the people will lie in the same implementations. Okay, so even if many topics are there, we need not to worry, right? So if you can learn as much as you can, but if it is beyond your scope, if you are not understanding something, as at that point of time, leave it. Okay, again in future, when you get a chance to work, you will learn it. Okay, fine, man. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Okay, we'll start again on Tuesday morning. Okay, is that fine?
Yeah,
Okay, brother.
Yeah, thank you,
yeah.
man.
Thanks, Pratap.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, brother.